output shaft for L80E. I made a video of Mrs. CW and I loading the transmission from my brother's minivan, which was over there, to this, and I had the camera over there, and Mrs. CW grabbed it and the video got corrupted. So all you see is me looking at it in the van and then pulling it into the Suburban. Burns my butt. Anyhow, I'm at the yellow house. Paperwork is moving along at a snail's pace, but it's moving. Things are happening. The appraiser was here, or he will be here. And there's some rotted wood. Yep, rotted. Anyways, there's stuff to keep the people busy that buy it. I've never met them. Don't know anything about them. They're from Virginia, that's all I know. So I've got the trailer here because I've got to get some lumber from the Sawyer who's down the hill in the valley. So now, because there's nobody here to help me, I saw a buddy of mine drive by, but he was going his way and I'm going my way, so my way or the highway. I'm going to set the camera down here on this fuel cap of the Cub Cadet, and I am going to put on satellite radio because I've already heard fresh air. I've got this radio here on my belt, 30 bucks. Radio off. Drop the little earbud out of my ear. It's funny, these earbuds cost $1. I get them at the dollar store. And they break. They last 3-4 days, a week. And this one speaker doesn't work, the other one still works. And the wires are really chintzy. But why buy them for $5 at the other more expensive dollar stores when I can get them at my dollar store for $1? And I buy... that was easy. I buy 10 at a time. So the story with this transmission was I went to Spike's Punk's house and we rebuilt it, but I forgot the pump because the pump was in a box that was tilted the other way and I didn't happen to notice it. I just didn't triple check. So like when you leave a hotel room you don't double check. I left the pump back at my shop, so when I went there he couldn't perform his last series of air pressure checks because the pump directs air pressure via passages, blah, blah, blah. So when I was putting the pump on, which I showed you probably 6 or 7 or 8 weeks ago, I noticed that this shaft wasn't turning the way I thought it should turn. There's a one-way clutch sprag, it's like a Bendix, and I didn't think it was turning properly. It just didn't feel right. I seated the pump properly. Here, I'll zoom in. It just didn't feel right. I don't know, I used to build trans with him 15, 20 years ago. Just the odd one. We didn't do very many, probably a dozen total max. Anyways, I have another 4L80E from a dump truck that a friend of mine scrapped in '97, which is a tiny bit newer. This is a '93, it's right beside. And you turn the input shaft to the tranny one direction, and it goes squeak as the one-way clutch is released, and it goes... I'll bring the camera over and you can listen to this. This is transmission's very basic 101. I'm going to put satellite radio on and here's some rock and roll tunes. I don't listen to the radio, to the music stations much. Whoops, I got to unzoom this, sorry. So listen very carefully. I'm going to turn the battery charger off. I've got it hooked up to the overhead door. This plug, I never put a plug in. I've got a box right there for the battery charger, but I never wired it up. And I don't think I'll do it because we're selling the house. Maybe I will. Anyways, listen very carefully. Listen. Hear the squeaking? That's the one-way clutch releasing. That's like when you let go of the gas, the power has to disconnect. Think of a single-speed bike that you can't stop pedaling. Messengers use them. You're direct connected, no freewheeling. So bicycles use it, starter drives use it, transmissions use it. One-way clutch, sprag. So I turned it and it had the same resistance both directions, and I put a vice grip on, and the teeth of the vice grip happened to be the exact same pitch as this, so I didn't mangle anything. I'm careful. I don't butcher stuff. Turn it this way, and it turns all the planetaries of the transmission, I think. If I'm getting this wrong, Spike Punk, he'll correct me. He watches my videos. I don't watch many of his videos, but I'm on the time. And sometimes they play real shaky, and sometimes they play smoothly. So, squeak, squeak. More resistance because you're turning all the assemblies inside. Stuff is rotating. This is power on, power off, power on. That'd be a good movie, wouldn't it? Power on, power off. So anyhow, the next thing I'm going to do is take this tranny and dump it off the tailgate onto something. And we did have piles of wood and all kinds of stuff here, but we cleaned this place out. Still some stuff, but not a lot. We're selling the house. Paperwork's happening. The appraiser was here. And we'll go to the closing, the title attorney, shortly and get the money and pay off some bills, credit cards, mortgages. I'd like Mrs. CW to build me a garage at the retirement house, but we'll see. There's a duplex across the street from one of our slums that's been for sale for years. And I called up and the price was way down. But it's such a friggin' slum. Oh my God, another one. 4-bedroom apartments. They're so hard to rent. Families with too many kids and too much welfare. I'm not against welfare. I'm going to break my back dropping this thing here. Maybe I should set it down on something. My back is a precious thing to waste. I was lying on the floor talking to Muggs a couple days ago. I got up from the floor, nothing special, concrete floor, and I pinched or twisted something, boy, let me tell you. Went to the chiropractor, he says, I feel it. I said, he ain't making it better. Whatever he did or didn't do didn't work. He's a nice guy, he doesn't charge me a lot, he's really nice. And you can talk to him and I show him my videos, and I guess I'll just dump it on the ground. Maybe I'll put it on some of these cardboard boxes. Remember that? Oh, look at that. It's peeling. Huh. A $50 sticker is peeling. Adirondacks, New York to Ash Fork, Arizona. Pick up my ramp size, show it in Denver, drop it in Muncie, Indiana. Tow my Fitch Sprint home. Well, I thought I would drop off the Fitch Sprint in Louisiana, but that didn't happen. Got junk. Oh, there's the tow bar for the ramp side. Yeah, you can't see much with this camera. Oh, and I spoke to Casio today. I called them because they refused the repair on my camera that I was using and the lens was getting crappy. And I called up and I talked to the girl and she was real nice, and I told her I'm CORVAIRWILD on YouTube, and she says, oh yeah, you're the guy that made the video, but Casio, when you berated us. I said, well yeah, because your guy promised he'd fix my camera, and after months of going back and forth, he never called me back. I read an open letter to Casio, and wouldn't you know it, 3 days later he calls up, hello, this is the gentleman from Casio. And I said, yeah, too late, buddy. I gave him a hard time. I'm bad. Too many stories. I'm just going to drop this thing. I would never pick it up. I'm just going to drop it on this button. Oh, baby. Dance with me. Clunk. That wasn't so bad, was it? Didn't pop anything. Oh, speaking of popping and... Oops. Oh, don't tell me you didn't see the whole thing. Hang on, I'll put it back and I'll show you the whole thing again. Speaking of popping things... No, I'm not going to do it. I'll pop something. Sorry, you got to miss the part of it where I dropped it onto the bucket. Here, I'll dance with it again, but I'm not going to lift it up. It's too much. Dance with me, I want to be your partner. I went by my friend's shop. A buddy of mine's got a shop. He does excavating and trucking. One of his workers was sitting there with his shoe off, massaging his foot. I said, what's going on? He's a really tough guy, nice guy, hard working guy. He says, amputated 2 toes, ran over my foot with a lawnmower. I said, no shit. Been there, done that. Yep, 15 years ago, ran over my foot with a lawnmower. It's ugly. I don't want to talk about it. Anyways, they reattached 1 toe, and the other one's gone, so struggling to walk. All right, those are the stories. Spiked Punk, August 5th, rebuilt. All I got to do now is make sure all the bolts are tight, and I think I'll put it in the truck without the transfer case. And I'll put the transfer case on later, otherwise it gets too long and unwieldy. Wonder how this seal is. Maybe I'll put a little bit of gasket cinch on that. I wonder what to put on it. Don't know. No rust. So many stories. So many stories. Then I can crank this bird up Alright, I'm getting out of here. I gotta go pick up some wood, hook up the trailer, pack up the sheep, and get the flock out of here. Did I forget to finish any of the stories I was telling you? I sure have a lot of them. We'll get this truck running again and I can move it to another spot. Oh yeah, so we're going to sell this house, and Mrs. CW wants to pay off bills, and I want her to build me a nice new garage next to the log house on the lake, the retirement house. Build a nice 35 by 60, yeah right. Get a waste oil furnace, and get a electric lift, new concrete floor so I can put the lift in it next to the house. I got all kinds of plans. Alright, thanks for watching. Sorry I couldn't upload videos for a few days. I'm catching up. Alright, time to crank her up. Satellite radio, I got wires and chargers and wires hanging everywhere. I hate it. What I need to do is put a power port over here and drill a hole right there. I got no headlights, you know that, huh? My dimmer switch melted last night. Yeah, first it wasn't working properly. No dimmer switch. It's a brand new freaking made in Mexico piece of junk. Where is it? Then I smelled it burning a few miles from home. I smelled, someone burned the marshmallows? The next thing you know, the headlights flicker off. So I drove the last 5 miles with no headlights in the rain. Anyways, I made it. I know the roads. Alright, the burn pile. The people said to leave the burn pile. They'll burn it themselves. It's quite the burn pile. Probably a whole family living in there. Got the trailer. Keep adding lumber to it. More lumber, more lumber, more lumber, more lumber. It's a big pile. I'm going to miss this house. Yeah. Miss the maintenance and the mice and the spiders. We still got 90 acres in the back. We got moles there now. I'm driving. No electronic devices while you're driving. We got moles in the yard. Moles and voles. I'm going to pick up some lumber. Rumble, rumble. Jiggle, 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 jiggle. The grass hasn't grown too much here. Hardly any rain. Hey, Mrs. CW can go put it in the ditch right there and I'll pull her out.